Alright, what is up everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Skate and Preserve. So as always, I want to thank each and every single one of y'all for tuning in. I appreciate y'all. And yeah, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and hop into unboxing these Nike SB Dunk Low Quick Strike Street Hawkers. So I was fortunate enough to have my entry to the Cop Date raffle at my local skate shop, Black Sheep Skate Shop. It was selected and I was able to secure a pair of these. They retailed at $110, but they're reselling for much more, so I really lucked out on getting these at retail. So shout out Cop Date, shout out Black Sheep. But yeah, I'm gonna be going into this shoe. I sat down, I did a bunch of research on these shoes because I was very curious as to what all of these different components in this shoe meant. So I'm going to be breaking that down through this video. I'm not going to be doing an on foot like I normally would, but yeah, I am going to be posting some high-res photos at the end, so stick around for that. And without further ado, we are going to be opening these up. So I did sit down and get a really good look at these shoes and research them. So if there's any inconsistencies that y'all see, you're gonna have to take it up with Nike, because that's where I got all my information from. So this tissue paper that the shoe is wrapped in the box is, you know, a traditional Chinese food menu that you would see. It's got the nice Nike SB hit going through there. I don't know how well you can see that. But, you know, if you watch my videos, you know I am a sucker for nice little details like that. So that was definitely a plus. And then we are going to be getting into these shoes. So as you can see, both of these shoes right here are quite different from the other one. And there's some meaning behind both of these, and we're going to get into that. But first off, these are a collaboration between Nike SB and the artist Jason Dung, and these were first thought to be a Chinese New Year dunk like they normally do. They do the Chinese New Year shoes, but this just happened to be a collaboration between a Chinese artist and Nike SB, and these shoes are supposed to be a nod to Chinese cuisine. It is a nod to 6 regional dishes from 6 Chinese cities, and they are combined with some little subtle nods to Chinese cooking, the utensils that are used, the dishes that are used to eat them off of. So go ahead and pull these insoles out, give you a little close-up on those, give you a little information on those, and then we're going to get into the laces, and then I'm going to break down each shoe bit by bit. If I can get this insole out of here. Alright, so as you can see, much like both of these shoes, both of the insoles are drastically different from the other one. So this insole for the left shoe, this paints a scene of a blue sky, a cloudy blue sky, and that is supposed to be a nod to the Chinese saying that people treat their food as heaven. And then this one right here paints a portrait of what is known as a bench terrace, and that is a landscaping method used to grow rice paddies in China. So I thought that was pretty cool. A lot of this stuff I had no idea about, even though I've been in the restaurant business for over a decade. I'm not very well versed in my Chinese culinary, so it's pretty dope learning all this little stuff. Definitely a little bit of cross of interest right there. So now we're going to get into these laces. So as you can see, there are 4 different colored laces, and these laces are meant to be a nod to the 4 essential seasonings that are used in Chinese cuisine. So the white one right here is supposed to represent garlic. The black one right there is supposed to represent black pepper. And then you got the green one right here and the tan one, which they're calling this yellow, but I mean that's pretty much a tan to me. But the tan is supposed to be a nod to ginger, and then the green is a nod to shallots. So those are the 4 essential seasonings used in these Chinese dishes. So I'm gonna go ahead and break down the left shoe first, and then we'll get into the right shoe. And full disclosure, there are some words I'm probably going to be pronouncing wrong. I did try to look up the pronunciation, but that doesn't mean I'm going to pronounce it correctly. So the 3 dishes in this, the color scheme, all that, it is supposed to represent more beige, light color, flower dishes. And the 3 cities that are represented in this shoe are Xi'an, Beijing, and Shanghai. So yeah, we're just going to start from the bottom and work our way up. So this outsole right here, the white and the nice light blue, so that is supposed to be a nod to the traditional porcelain blue and white dishes that they use to eat their food off. I'm sure if you've seen any Chinese restaurant, you've seen those dishes, the nice blue and white porcelain. And then moving on up, we've got the forefoot right here that wraps around the toe box. So this, at first, I thought this was going to be like a more plastic material, but this is more reminiscent of like a duck canvas, that like kind of like a Carhartt canvas, a real rough canvas. I can imagine these would be some amazing shoes to skate with that amount of protection right there. I guess if you're a regular skater, that's what I am. So this would be my front foot. I'm sure these would be great to skate, but we're not about to find out. So anyways, this pattern right along here, and yeah, before I get into this, all of this artwork, all of these watercolor paintings were done by the artist Jason Dung, and yeah, I'm gonna be uploading the watercolor artwork at the end if you want to check that out. But yeah, anyways, not to get off topic. So this right here is supposed to mimic the color and texture of, oh, what is it? The donut patterns. As you can see, it's a little like watercolor donut patterns going throughout this shoe. And those donuts are meant to pair with this suede toe box right here. And that is supposed to mimic the color and texture of green bean soup. So that and that would pair together in traditional Chinese cuisine. So I think it's pretty dope that they've got these different little things just paired up together. And then moving on to the eyelet area. So this texture right here is, again, that duck canvas texture. But the painting behind it is meant to mimic mutton soup. And then right here on the lateral side of the shoe, this embossed suede is supposed to be reminiscent of shredded pita. So the mutton soup and the shredded pita, that is a dish from Xi'an, China. And then your donuts and your green beans, that is from Beijing. And then moving on into the swoosh, that right there is a wood grain, supposed to be a nod to the chopsticks that they use to eat their food. And then moving back into here, this whole heel counter right here, that is reminiscent to the plain noodles that come from Shanghai, or known as the Shanghai plain noodles or Yangchun noodles. And then that little embroidered 10-cent piece right there, that is a nod to, again, the Shanghai plain noodles. I'm not for sure exactly what that is, if that's the cost of them or what, but it did say in my research that that is a nod to it. That is why that is right in the middle of the plain noodles. And then back here, you've got the Chinese symbol for food. Now, the only thing I was not able to really find out was what these little colors right here meant. I can venture a guess that maybe this green is either a nod to the green bean soup that is displayed at the toe box of this shoe. It could also be a nod to that green shoelace, the shallots. And then again, this white right here, I'm not too sure on what that is. These could just be the colors they chose to add to the shoe, since these are flour-based, light-colored dishes. But yeah, the yellow, again, I don't know if that's just a color that they decided to throw in there, or if maybe that is maybe a nod to the plain noodles, the Shanghai noodles. But if you have any information on that, let me know down below in the comments. But I was not able to find anything on the collar lining or this back leather piece or the yellow in this. So if you know, let me know. I appreciate as much knowledge as possible. So that is the left shoe right there. And we're going to move on in to the right shoe. So this shoe right here, these brighter, hotter colors are meant to represent heats from sweet to spicy. And the regions that are going to be depicted in this shoe are Taipei, Chengdu, and Guangzhou. And we're gonna go on and get right into that, and we're gonna do it the same way we did the last one. So this outsole right here, the white and yellow, this is supposed to be a nod to the yellow cooking oils that are used when sauteing and cooking up a lot of these different dishes that we're going to be talking about. And then moving on up into this 4-foot area that wraps around the toe box, that is a nod to the boiling chili oil that goes into the spicy hot pot from Chengdu. And then this toe box right here, that metallic copper that goes into there, that is supposed to mimic the Chengdu hot pots that the dishes are cooked in. So I think that's pretty cool. They got the cooking oils right here, and then you got the little spicy hot pot, the boiling chili oil, and then you got the actual hot pots that these dishes are cooked in. And then moving on up here to this eyelet. So these eyelets right here are meant to mimic the flame and lychee wood used to roast goose. And this right here, the lateral red right here, that is actually ostrich leather, and that is meant to be a nod to the roasted goose skin, which is a popular dish in Guangzhou, China. So you got the roasted goose right there, and then you got the flame and lychee wood that is used to cook it. And then keeping with that roasted goose, this metallic silver swoosh right here is meant to be a nod to the metal hooks that they use to hang the roasted geese once they are done. And then we're gonna move on into this back piece. So this whole heel counter that wraps around the shoe, that is a nod to a popular Taipei dessert, which is shaved ice and taro balls. And then you got up here these collar linings. I was able to find out what these collar lining meant, and they are supposed to mimic the color of these meat dishes that we've spoke of down here in the front of the shoe. And then again, I wasn't able to figure out this color, but I'm just guessing it's probably got to do with this Taipei dessert, the shaved ice and taro balls. Not 100% sure on that. If you do know, let me know, but I'm willing to guess that's probably what it is, but I'm not 100% sure. And then back here on the back, we've got, just like the other one, just in a different color, the Chinese symbol for food. So yeah, that's really all that goes into these shoes. I mean, it's a lot to take in. It's kind of a lot to really know. I mean, I had no idea before I started researching this shoe what all of this meant, so I thought it was pretty cool to be able to research, figure all that stuff out, and be able to share it with y'all.